Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today let's discuss something about the writing techniques on biodata. Now, what is biodata? It is a window into the life of an individual that gives the reader or the recipient insight into who you are. So that means there are few commonly used biodata styles, but your biodata should reflect your education, experience, and relevant skills tailored to the job you are applying for. Like, your biodata summarizes the most aspects of your life and not just your career. So, whenever you write a biodata, you have to focus on your educational skills, experiences, and other relevant skills to suit to the job you are seeking for. Now, biodata is prominently featured in South Asian countries, for your information, unlike the resume, which is common in the US. So today, here through this video, I'd like to bring to you on the particular format or the style, a common style, a general style, where it will be very convenient for us to write biodata. So now let me help you create a biodata document. Okay, we also call it as biographical data. So biodata also can be called as biographical data. And we will be going through some informations that a biodata requires. Since your biodata is about you as a person and not just about your career, let us start with your objective first. So this is how you present your biodata, starting with the objective. Now, the question is, why are you submitting your biodata? For what reason? So, your objective should include the causes, the reasons of your submission of the biodata to a particular organization or a company while you are seeking for a job. Like, relate to your career, number one, when you are writing the objective, your life goals. So let's make it here. Your career, your life goals. Okay? And explain why you should be considered for the job out of the many others. What makes you the perfect individual fit for the job you are applying for? So, with these points, if you write your objective, your biodata would be read by the others. So, for an example, let's write something here. In regards to your career objective, so it could be to secure. Now, this is just an example. You can write it in any other way. There is no any limitation, no bar against the way you present here. So this is just one example I'm saying here. To secure a, why are you applying for that job? To secure a responsible. Now what does this responsible means? I'll come to it. Responsible, challenging, okay, position. So you are in search of something, that is, you are trying to secure yourself a responsible, challenging position and to fully utilize utilize. What are you going to utilize? Your experiences. Utilize and expand. Expand your, as I earlier said, expand your knowledge. Expand your knowledge. Now this means that you know something and you want that reader or the organization or the organization from the company to know that you are something, you have some knowledge and you want to fully utilize and expand that knowledge, taking everything into responsibility, and also that you accept the challenges, knowledge and skills. Why do you use these qualities? Skills to the success of the company or the institution you are applying for, and skills to the success of the company or the institution you are applying for. So this is your main objective. So first we write objective. Who you are, what qualities you have, what do you want to give. This is all about your objective. Now let's go into the second phase. After this comes the personal details. There could be many examples of templates of biodata showing this and that, write this and write that. But in general, what type of personal details could be most suitable when you're applying for a job? Remember that your biodata reflects not your career. Your biodata should feature who you are. So, in the personal details, write your name, number one, then date of birth. These are the points you can include. Date of birth, and after that, address. This means your state of residence, where you are actually from, or where you are residing currently. State of residence. Gender, male, female. Please mention this also. Then email address is a must. Because this is for further correspondence. This is for further correspondence, and it will be easy for the person to contact you. Okay? And your mobile number. Now, the next of kin. Now, this is something very, very important. Next of kin means mobile number. Now, it's not that every time we are available when the people want us to know where we are. We may not be available sometimes. Somebody else might have to represent during our absence. So, if we are unable to get in touch by those people who are seeking for us, the next of kin, this is in emergencies, means my relative or somebody else can receive the call and pass on the information to me, or if some misfortune happens to me, the next of the kin, my next near one, can be contacted immediately. This means this. Now, marital status. Now, listen here. When we are talking about marital status, you could write married, unmarried, or whatever it may be. Because some companies, they seek for your status, and accordingly they would be assigning you the job. Now this is also one important factor. Religion. What religion do you follow? Okay, and the next one is Basically, this will help you in your personal profile. This helps you personally, how tall you are. Okay, and finally, languages. You could write whatever languages you know. You can write if you know English, Hindi, Nepali, French, German, whatever languages you know. We have also noticed that some of them, they make a table and then they write good, very good, average, but that's not necessary. If you know how to at least communicate, that's okay. That's okay. Like Hindi, Bengali, Nepali, English, French, German. The more you have, the better you have the perspective of getting the job. So languages play a very important role here. So this is the second part of personal details. If you can write these many things, okay, fine. You don't have to add any more here. Our next point is work history. History here includes the jobs you have been doing. So the account of the jobs, it depends on how many jobs you applied for till the date you have been applying for this office. For example, start with your current or most recent job and follow it with the one before it and so on. That means what order we are going to follow is always in the first mention the current job here, and in the second please mention where you have been working before, and before that, and before that. So what are the things you include there? Include your job title. Number one, what position you are holding there, the names of the organizations or the companies, and the dates you worked through. Very briefly you mention here. Let's see for an example. Like suppose I had been working as a marketing executive. Okay, just before I am applying for this job, the current one, I am writing a biographical data here. I am applying for a new job here, but before this, what was I doing? Sales executive. Okay, I was working as a sales executive. Where was I working? The name of the organization. Let's say Rara Company Private Limited. Well, this is a fake name. Sales executive, Rara Company Private Limited. And how long had I been working there? Let's see. This is 2020. So I was working there from 2017 to 2019. That means in the year 2020, I haven't been working, I have just stopped. This was number one. Number B, before this, where was I? Okay, I was working as a medical representative. Okay, fine. Medical representative. Let's say DJPL. Okay, DJPL. This is Devreli Janta Pharmaceuticals Limited. So when was I working there? Let's see. If I was working there 2000 from 17 to 19, probably before this I should have been working. So let's write down 2015 to 2017. And from 17 I started working here. Number C. Now because I have many experiences of working in many different fields, I can write. So let me say I worked as a teacher. Okay, I worked as a secondary English teacher. Secondary English teacher in a school. Okay, the name of the school XYZ. So secondary English teacher, I worked in a school XYZ, the name of the school is. So when did I work there? let's see, I work there from, it is 15 here. Let's make it very, very sure. It's 15 here, and we have to come down before that. So up to 17 I was working, from 17 to 19 I worked here. So that means, let me see here, 2012 to 2015. So 3 years I worked here, 2 years I worked here, 5 years, and 2 more years I worked here, 7 years. So I have with me a 7 years working experience in different fields. So this is my work history, and I must have worked voluntarily in some other places. If it is so, I can include that. I can include that also. If it is not there, not needed. So this is how we write our work history in short. So after the work experience, work history, let's come to education, your next point. This should be mentioned in your complete form, like where you had your schooling. Number 1, that means you passed out your school level. We call it School Leaving Certificate, SLC. Or, so what you do is here, name of the institution, name of the school you passed from, and in which year you passed. Then what was your GPA? If you don't have GPA, you can write down your percentage for school. Then you have your graduation level. Okay, name of the institution from where you passed your bachelor's. So here, year and your GPA or your percentage. Furthermore, if you have done your post-graduation level, okay, your post-graduation level, then mention here from which university, the year you passed out, and your GPA or the percentage that you obtained. So this is about education. Write the secured marks, that is the GPA or the percentage, and the institution you passed from. This is very important, and the year. This is what will be marked in your biodata. How qualified you are for that particular job you are applying for. This is your spinal cord. This will determine whether you will be able to get the job you are seeking for or not. So after completion of your educational profile, now we come to the areas of skills. Besides your academic progress, academic source, you have some skills developed at the same side through other skills development, like, for example, you could write a sales representative, and you worked for 2 years. And where was it that you worked? In Rajiv Non-Life Insurance Company Private Limited. You could mention this. A person has many skills inside him. So you could be you could possess something other one, that is MS Office Visual Basics. Now you are a good computer literate. This would be an added asset to the company you are going to work to. Besides that, what else the company might need in relation to the job you are seeking for? If you think that this skill will help me to obtain that job, add that also. And if you think that if it is not going to help me, do not write. For example, you could write, you are an excellent communicator, and what does a communicator do? Works as a public relation officer, building the networking system. So these, and where did you work? in the Sara Enterprises, name of the company. So if you can write down these skills, similar to these types of skills, if you have other skills with you, mention it. Any one of the skills would be supportive to your document, and you might have a better chance of obtaining the job. So after this, now we come to the final one. It's not mandatory, but we are often suggested it's better if you write. For example, the last one is hobbies and interest. Hobbies and interest. How do you pass your time? Sometimes they might want to know, what do you do for your leisure hours? So here you can mention what you are good at, what you have been actually doing to make yourself active, like yoga. You often play games like tennis, you are interested in football. Okay. You could mention this, hobbies and interest. It's not compulsory, but if you think that the job you are seeking for is somewhat related to these kinds of things, you may add it. This is optional. So this is how we form a biodata. This is one of the ways. Out of the many ways, this is one of the ways which I have tried to give you. So let's be very careful about the 4 things when we are framing our biodata. Number 1 is the recipient will be always looking to answer questions like, number 1, is this candidate good or fit for the position? Because you have applied for a certain position. So the question comes, is the candidate who has applied in my office fit for the position? This is the first question. That will be marked by the person who goes through your biodata. So your biodata should be concise, to the point, and marked very well with this question. How are you going to present yourself that you are fit for the position? Number 2, does the candidate have the personal and the psychological character to work well with other team members? So, does the candidate possess what? Personal and psychological characters. Personal and psychological characters. Remember, characteristics to go well with the team, this is another question they will be seeking the answer for through your biodata. And number 3 is, does the candidate have the personal qualities to be successful? Does the candidate possess personal qualities to be successful in his venture? And finally, the 4th question is, does the candidate have the potential to grow? Do you have an interest to work very sincerely, dedicatedly, and do you look for the promotions? That's the 4th question. Does the candidate have the potential to grow and enhance the skill set? Have the potential to grow in the job? These 4 questions, their answers will be represented in your biodata. So when you're writing a biodata, make sure that these questions are to be answered. So, I hope you have understood what is a biodata, who reads the biodata, okay, and how is a biodata read. So with this, I come to the end of the session. Keep watching. Thank you very much. Have a nice time.